Hi, and welcome to another episode of Wine and Wisdom. I'm Thomas Le Hoang, and you're listening to the TL podcast, where knowledge is shared and no one takes themselves too seriously. How you guys going? All right?
Good, mate. Good.
What's happening? I thought we better do something with COVID now. Looks like we're copying another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
crazy.
Oh, man. So what does that mean? That means that we're not out of here for another 2 months.
Yeah, fuck, it won't be 2 weeks.
So you guys reckon it'll continue through August as well?
Yeah, it's all because of all those guys in Bankstown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you recording yet, brother? I'm just going to make a phone call. Are you recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, I'll make a phone call while we're on the air. That'll be good.
Yeah, okay.
He's ringing his mate in Bankstown, he is. So
Hey?
get back indoors, you bastard.
No, there's a case in Kalani Vale, so you better watch out.
Oh, they come
really?
from Bankstown. Don't worry, they're on holidays in Bankstown.
That's me.
According
I'm
to
the
Sean
Kalani
Pratt,
Vale
yeah, his mate's got COVID.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh,
Anyway.
wow. It came down from Tukli.
Bloody Central Coasties.
Sad stuff. Oh, well, okay. So how are we going to do this format? It's probably something we're going to do on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good for the moment to be able to not only give back to our salespeople, but maybe also to those listeners of ours so that they get a little bit more news on a weekly basis.
I just listed a property for a business consultant and
Yeah.
a business mentor who drinks a lot of wine, and he wants a link to the podcast. But seeing I just listed his property, I'm not going to.
Wait until you've sold it.
No, I've got to wait till the cooling off period.
Cooling off period.
I've literally just come from there, so I'll be our first one in Hoang. As long as I get through till 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll be all right.
You'll be right, mate.
No, that's nice. All right. So let's have a look. We all have our wine?
Yeah,
We do.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to have to talk about our wine, but slowly, right?
And I bought 6 bottles, bro. It's state of origin night, and I don't have to go anywhere. So,
And I've got a garage full of it, so we're ready to go.
You see, who's bringing up the garage?
Mate,
Yeah,
I had to
that's
get in
you,
before you bastards. Seriously.
Strap yourself in, and we're on for a show today.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so let's start. So let's start with you. Actually, Meg, the ladies first. So which one did you have?
Today I bought a bottle of Briar Ridge Merlot. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, it's a Hunter Valley wine. It's a 2017 Merlot. And yeah, I've only had it once at a tasting, and it was really nice. It's one of their limited release brands,
Yes.
like editions. And yeah, thought I'd bring it along today and drink it all to myself.
Okay, what year?
17.
All right, because we still competing, you know.
What did it score on Vivino?
I didn't look it up.
Well, you have to look
bullshit.
it up.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll be a 5.7 out of 5. Didn't look it up.
And it only goes to 5, right?
Yeah, 5.7 out of 5, and that's why she saved it for when we're not around.
You know what? I was just going to bring a bottle of Moscato because I thought I don't have anyone to impress today. I don't give a shit if I come last. But I thought I'd better give it a red hot go.
Oh no,
That's a fair call.
we didn't tell you. The person who comes last actually has to shout a bottle to everyone.
I'm not coming last today, so that's okay.
Okay, so what about you, Chris? What have you got?
Well, I was very strategic in my purchase this time, so I got a bottle of Torbreck The Struie.
Oh, wow, that is a good one.
And it was
$50 limit, yeah?
well, funnily enough, Cam, I'm a very good negotiator, and it's not what it's sold for; it's what I pay for it.
You're
And I showed the guy what I wanted to buy, and he's gone, "What's it say on the app?" I said $49.99. He goes, "I'll drop it to that price." I didn't even ask him, so I paid $49.99 for it, and it's rated.
Disqualified.
Mate, it's called strategy. 4.4 on Vivino, 48 rating.
Oh, I quit.
Yeah.
48 ratings, and it's rated at a 4.4.
What is it?
Awesome.
What style of wine is it?
I don't know if you can see that.
Torbreck, mate. Yeah.
Torbreck. It's a Shiraz.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant.
It's a Shiraz.
It's
2019 Shiraz.
Whoa, wow. Okay. Well, too young to drink that one. Way too young.
Yeah.
Tastes
a
good,
waste
though.
what a waste of money.
I'm not. You bastards not drinking it, so I'm not wasting it.
That one should have waited until the end of COVID, I think. And
It was the last bottle in the shop too, believe it or not.
Yeah.
what about you, Cam?
No, I quit.
Nah.
You're throwing your toes already.
Oh, fuck it out of here.
That's a strategic move.
Yeah, no. Well, my wife doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can get away with saying this. She chose my wine today.
She's standing behind you.
Don't throw her under the bus.
I was running out of time, so I
That
said
is
her down
disgusting. Putting his
Yeah.
wife under the
I
bus.
sat her down to Dan Murphy's clear instructions with the can't be $50, Chris.
Okay, Cam, you're gonna have to say it again because I lost you there, man.
At Dan Murphy's that's over.
You
I lost
glitched.
you there. I
You
lost
glitched.
there.
Glitched.
Yeah.
Where did I glitch?
At the start.
Yeah. So
So you sent it to Dan Murphy's with an
as soon,
order of.
as
I
soon
sent
as you
my
said
wife-
your wife, yeah, that,
I
that went
sent my
wrong.
wife to Dan Murphy's with clear instructions, which was to win on Vivino and not spend over $50. So I don't think we've won on Vivino, and I just saw the receipt for $386. So I don't- my instructions weren't very clear. This must be where I go wrong with my staff.
Okay. So what did Vivo say?
Well, we bought a few, but I've chosen a Cambria Estate Winery, Katherine's Vineyard 2018 Chardonnay from California. It's on the Santa Maria Valley in California. We've had a bit of luck with some California wine, so I had that or a Penfolds to choose from that was also a 2018. So I went with this. It's only it's a lowly 3.8 on Vivino, so it's not going to knock very hard. I don't know. You won't get many white wines that are recent that are over 4 on Vivino. So.
Oh wow! It looks like you're last then because Megan is 3.9.
No, didn't she have a 4?
Yeah, no, she's at.
Who was 4?
4.4.
Chris.
Yeah, 4.
4.4 for me.
Oh, well, as I said, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I think that you've lost.
Definitely not my wife's fault. I just want to make that very clear to everybody.
My wine this week is a Geoff Merill Reserve 2013.
2013 for under $50.
Yeah, $49 exactly, and it scored.
Oh, no way. Fucking ripped off, man.
I'm calling New South Wales government on all these. You're all full
I
of
reckon
shit.
I reckon
I
Charlotte's
want proof.
I reckon Charlotte's doctored that screen. I reckon
No,
she's
how many-
created the stars herself, I reckon.
The trick is how many reviews there are. If he's the only person who bought the bottle of wine and he
How many
gave it
reviews?
4.5, yeah.
How many reviews? 25 ratings.
Yeah. mate.
Mine's got 48.
Yeah,
mate, I get at
Chris,
least another 3 points for that.
See,
mine's got-
and mine is a legit under 50. It says, can you read?
yeah,
Is
you
it?
can read.
Mine's legit 49.99.
Yeah. Okay.
I think mine was $12. That might have been really wrong.
And I have my cheese,
Yeah.
and I have my crackers.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I've got my salami here. No chocolate though. I'm a bit disappointed in that.
I brought some chocolate just because I knew you'd ask.
Yeah, good.
All right. Okay, so let's get into our first subject, guys. Bloody
Cheers.
Right. Cheers. Cheers,
Yeah.
everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
hell.
Happy
Yeah,
lockdown.
That'd
Come
be
on,
nice
buddy, Thomas.
to be waiting for me. Yeah.
Should have opened it up
we're not waiting for
beforehand.
you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Megan,
Cheers, guys. Salute.
Chris,
So,
Cam,
cheers, Meg.
Thomas.
Thomas.
If we're going to do this every week, are we going to do it on a Thursday or are we going to, what are we going to do?
We're recording, mate. Can we talk about this off the air?
Oh, right, yeah, okay. fair enough. Sorry, man.
You fucking idiot. The podcast has been going for 10 minutes.
I reckon
Yeah,
he
right, yeah.
started earlier. He
Yeah,
started
I was
earlier.
reading
No,
his
no, look,
WhatsApp.
the bottle's hardly, look, No, but there's only one glass gone.
I was reading his WhatsApp message earlier, trying to
fuck
get
off,
it into
shut
English.
up.
I asked Siri to translate it into English for me, and it said 4 glasses deep.
I work in Bunkerstown. I told you that.
Oh, you poor buggers. How are you going down there, man? All I hear is Bankstown in the news, and it's not for stealing cars or giving women a hard time, so it's something different.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. I mean, customers are really quite standoffish at the moment, trying to book appointments and so forth, and they really put up the barrier saying after COVID. So I think it's got a bit of a fright into everyone with this new ad campaign that's going about, and the police presence and so forth. So,
but you guys are right in the thick of it, eh? Like we're all of us here in the greater Sydney region. How dare we? But you guys are right in the middle of it. So.
Yeah, we're a hot spot. They're saying that if we should be getting everyone in our area should be getting tested every 7 days, and just over from us, a few suburbs over is Fairfield, and they're saying every 3 days for people in Fairfield to be tested. So
have you been tested, mate?
Yeah, funnily enough, when we first went into lockdown, Rita had been working in the city. So one night I said to Rita, that's it, let's go up to the local testing place up here in Briar Ridge from where I live. We went up at 7:30. There was like 2 cars in front of us and got tested. That was about 3 weeks ago. But that was
definitely
on a Friday.
Negative, because I'm looking at my computer screen. You don't look well.
That's me normally, mate. That's me natural. But I'm sure if we could see your face, you'd be a shining light of health. Mate, you would, right?
I'm in the dark.
What was surprising to me is how quick the results come back. We got them back at 2 o'clock that morning. So we were up there like 8 o'clock at night. 6 hours later, 2 o'clock next morning, we had...
they're not testing them, mate. They're just running around.
No, we had the results
They're not
back.
testing them. Yeah, I know. They just run them around the block and bring back. And you just pull a result out
You're
of a
a
hat.
shocker.
Nah, bullshit, mate. We went from no one in hospital to 7,000 people in hospital overnight. I haven't seen one of them yet. Fucking. Anyway. We're doing that. We're not doing that segment yet.
Okay, let's start with our serious segment first. Mr. Hey, by the way, Cam's the only guy that's testing morning and night. They're the only test he's ever passed in his life. They're all coming back positive.
Right, if only my HSC was this easy. I might not be stuck in real estate with you polluters.
All right. Let's go back to our Stoic, which today we're going to do 2 months in one. So November and December, and then we're going to say goodbye to this book. So let's do the first. All right, let's do the first 10 days. Who's got something special out of November?
November in general is very much about, it gets a bit repetitive, but it's just about not being able to control what happens to us, but controlling the response when something happens to us, isn't it? And that's pretty much the general theme of the month, I think, which flows into December.
I got something a bit different. The way December talks about life and how short it is. Yeah. I think November talks a little bit about just do your best, give it your best. Like November 2, for example, when they say everything we could think of has been done, the troops are fit, everyone's doing his best. The answer is in the lap of the gods, and that was Eisenhower when he was writing about the troops. And what it is on November 2nd is in life, all you can do is do your best. After that, it doesn't matter what happens. It's out of your control. That's what he's trying to say.
It's not up to you anymore. Yeah, and even I love the line on the first one, on day 1, which says something happened that we wish hadn't, which is easier to change our opinion or the event that is in the past. A lot of us don't understand that we're in complete control of what happens to us, not because we control the event, but because we control our reaction to it. Yeah, anybody else? Good chat, guys. Well done. That'll be the end of the podcast.
For me, November 3rd, it was just following doctor's orders. And what I took away from that was everyone's journey is their own. I mean, I think we prescribe too often to the masses and the thought process of what we should be doing, when I think everyone's individual needs and wants are very unique to themselves. And life happens to us, for us, not to us. So we need to be able to, go with the punches and, really enjoy the victories. That's what I got from that.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't get much out of the start of November, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Not really. I got more as the month went on, but There was something on page 9 that I liked. Our understanding of what something is, it's just a snapshot. The universe is in a constant state of change. Our nails grow and are cut and then keep on growing. New skin replaces dead skin. Old memories are replaced by new memories. And it says, are we still the same people? And are the people around us the same? Nothing is exempt from this fluidity, not even the things that we hold most sacred. And to me, it just highlighted the like when it talked about the nails and the skin and stuff, there's things that are changing around us all the time, but you don't always stop and notice that they're happening.
Right.
You know, you see your kids and then you look back at photos of them a year ago and you sort of think, you know, they've changed, but until you actually take note of it and look at it, you don't always, you know, comprehend that change as it's happening or at the speed that it's happening.
Right.
And I think, you know, sometimes people just think that things should stay the same all the time, and they don't accept the fact that things are going to change, things will change, and you've got to be ready for that change. You've got to have your mind always ready for change and how you're going to react to it. And similar to what Cam said, it's not about the change, it's about how you react to it.
Nice.
What about the line on day 7 where the Alexander the Great's crossing a river and a philosopher stands in his path?
Yes.
How good is the line? He says, one of Alexander the Great's soldiers says to the philosopher, "This man has conquered the world. What have you done?" And the response was, "I've conquered the need to conquer the world." How good is that?
Yeah.
And the other quote from that is, "Want to have a good empire, then rule over yourself." I've got a tattoo across my chest that says "Vincit quae vincit," which in Latin means he conquers who conquers himself, which is basically saying to take on the world or to achieve anything you want to achieve, you've got to conquer yourself first. It's a never-ending battle against yourself. And I thought, I hadn't heard it put another way apart from that. And when I read that, "This is the man who's conquered the world, what have you done?" I thought that was a bloody brilliant line for people who are chasing the dream or chasing fame and fortune or chasing, you know, trophies instead of chasing the win over themselves.
Yeah, well, it's actually not the first time that it's in the book. It was in the previous month. And really, I like November 7th. A lot of people think that they have to run after material possessions before they can be happy, or sometimes get fame, notoriety, or making sure that their children succeed before they feel like successful. And really, he from November 7th, he's preparing the fact that the only thing we need to conquer is ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we grow, we'll be fine. And hence, I really like how at the end of the chapter he says we need to learn to rule over ourselves, and which reminds me of a line, even though they don't like lines, where it says there's only one thing tougher than diamonds, and that is to know oneself.
Yeah, that's never very battle.
Good.
All right, so anything else for the first 10 pages? All right.
I got to number 12 before.
All right, then what's 11 to 20?
I had number 12, which was pretty simple. The buck stops here. Just talks about responsibility again, which I think if you were to replay all these podcasts, I think it's spoken about in just about every month that you are responsible and you alone are responsible. And if you're seeing something you're not happy with, you need to look in the mirror because you're the one eventually that's caused it. So it's a bloody good, given the circumstances we're in, which we weren't in when we started reading these months. We weren't in lockdown when we started reading these months, but a lot of this is very relevant to what's going on today, and probably what happened last time we were in lockdown. We saw a lot of failures in leadership last time in our own businesses, in the businesses around us, in the world in general, and a lot of it, except for what's happened to you, and it's how you react to what happened. Everything we've spoken about so far is very pertinent to the situation we're currently in. And the buck stops here is one of them. Can't blame other people for external events. What happens from here on going forward is on you, not on anybody else. So, I know we keep repeating the same line, but throw enough mud, eventually some of it will stick, hopefully.
Mm.
13 was the same. Never complain, never explain. We've got to stay away from blaming, complaining, and justifying, because they're just excuses. Something happens, understand it, learn from it, move on. Don't blame anyone else for it.
I love 16, where hope and fear are the same. That is just crazy, because a lot of people think that hope is so much higher than fear. but really in the end they are the same.
Well, they're both imaginary things, aren't they?
Yeah, and also a fear is a hope that's not going to happen. Hope it's going to happen. So it's the same basis. It's the same thing where you putting your destiny into something that is out there and hoping that the winds of the gods going to change the course of the events. When really, if you understood it, everything's in your own two hands. It's up to you to do something about it.
Yeah, it's a good one. 17. I got number 7, November 17. Judge not least. I've just simply put, just because we know or we can doesn't mean we should.
That word's lest, mate, not least.
Okay.
Read not lest. You still there, Chris?
No, yeah, I'm here.
Good, man.
You just like the sound of your own voice, so I thought I'd let you go.
No, well, judge not lest.
So what did you get out of that?
It's a lot of people think they should be giving advice, or because they can give advice, or because they think they know better. But sometimes they just need to let people travel their own journey and work out them. And the old saying, you know, the student appear will when the teacher is ready, when the student will appear, or whatever their saying is. So for me, it was just a lot of people think they should be doing something, or because they can, but they just need to just take a moment for it.
It talks about judging people, right? So
yeah.
It's saying just because we're reading these books and just because we think we're smart and just because we're Stoics and philosophers gives us the right to judge anybody else, but we don't. What reading this and doing all this stuff should do is empower us to be able to accept people for where they're at, because that's the Stoic message. So,
and it's working. I'm accepting you, Cam.
Yeah, thank you. It hasn't worked on me, mate, because I still think you're a dick. Oh, Dad, we keep judging Chris's wine, mate. We haven't learned a thing.
Because mine just beat yours, right?
Mate, it did.
Okay, so anybody else for 10 to 20?
I had 14. The topic of the heading of the page was "You choose the outcome." It said an event itself is objective, but how we describe it, that it was unfair or that it was a great calamity or that they did it on purpose, is on us.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just, you know, there's lots of things that happen, and yeah, it's not about what it is that's happened. It's about how you react to it, how you talk about it, how you go forward from whatever it is that event is what's important.
Right.
We touched on that a bit earlier. Jack Canfield has a formula for this. When people say to you, you tell people you're 100% responsible for everything that's ever happened to you. And people say, oh, well, I got cancer, that's not my fault, or I got this, that's not my fault. As Meg's just said, it's not what happens to you that creates the outcome. It's how you respond to what happens to you that creates the outcome. So Jack Canfield's algorithm for it is E plus R equals O, which is event plus response equals the outcome. The event doesn't determine the outcome, your reaction to it does. A lot of people don't understand that. They get a bit funny at you when you say, well, hang on, you're 100% responsible for everything good or bad that happened to you. It's because of the reaction that you have to that event. And COVID's no different. That's what we're talking about, it being relevant to today. You know, we just got extended for another 2 weeks and people are going to react to that a different way. You can react to it in a way that makes the world worse for you, or you can react to it in a way that makes the world better for you. And that's completely on you. That's not on the government or anybody else. That's on you.
Mm. I actually like the last line in November 14, Meg, where he talks about acceptance. And I think in November 11th, he actually refers to that with President Roosevelt, who got, at the age of 39, he started to develop polio. And from that day onwards, he couldn't walk anymore. And they talk about acceptance and versus being passive. When you accept things, that doesn't mean that you do nothing. That doesn't mean that you sit there and you go, oh, well, here it is, I accept my life. That has nothing to do with that. So what we need to really focus on is accept our situation, but then fight for better, you know? And so acceptance doesn't mean being passive. I love that.
I think we sort of glossed over the title of the month, which is the saying Amor, which is a love of fate. The month is based on understanding that you're not in complete control of your fate, so enjoying it and accepting it. But as Thomas just said, not being passive towards it. I hadn't heard that before. That saying. It's an interesting concept, because it's
Yeah.
based around loving everything that happens to you regardless, because you didn't really have a choice in it.
I actually Googled it before I even went past the title of the page. I'm like, what does that mean? And
Well,
I know
if you had read page 1 of the month, you would have seen.
if you had have let me finish, Cam, what I was about to say was, before I even turned the page, I thought, oh, that's really interesting. So I Googled it, and then it told me a little bit about it, and then I read the chapter and I learned, oh, found it. But thank you for pointing that
No,
out.
that's all right. I'm here to help, not to judge.
Yeah, got it loud and
I've
Since
read
when?
a book. I've read a book.
clear.
He still doesn't understand that all of us have got so much light around us. He's so dark.
That's an
He
insight.
still doesn't get it. He still
It's an
doesn't
insight
get
into our souls.
it. All right. So anybody
Stole a
else?
line.
If not, then let's move on from 21st to 30th.
22 is an interesting concept. If we consider all the possibilities, we'd be less affected when it actually happens. It's a bit of a morbid thought, but it talks about the reason we get so shocked when worst case scenarios happen is because we don't let ourselves consider that worst case scenarios might actually happen, whether it be someone dying or going broke, or your spouse cheating on you or something like that. So it sort of tells us to at least consider all the possibilities of any situation, and then if it does happen to go wrong, you won't be so badly affected. But it's a bit of it's a bit confronting if you want to sit there and take every aspect of your life and sit there and go, what's the absolute worst that could happen here? Who wants to sit there and think about that shit all day, So I thought it was an interesting concept he had there.
I think what it's about, though, it's about always working on yourself to improve, so that when things do go wrong, you're able to conquer it no matter what it is. Not necessarily thinking of all the situations that might be and what you could do in those situations, but just always making your mind strong, so that no matter what it is that's thrown at you, you just deal with it.
Yeah,
I heard a saying once that it was, I'd rather be a failed optimist and an optimist that was wrong than a pessimist that was right. So
No, that's not the same.
that's not the same.
No, it was judge you least.
The saying is, I'd rather spend my life with an optimist who's always wrong than a pessimist who's always right.
Right. But I think that goes well with the glass is already broken.
No, you quoted a saying, so that's why I'm saying.
All right, so you
fixed
the saying. All right, thanks for that. Yeah, cheers.
My November 22nd was a little bit weird for me, because the question I had is, do we have to embrace pessimism? Should we wake up in the morning and I think one of the thoughts is that the Stoics believe that every morning we should really swallow a toad, because everything else that we taste that day is going to taste way better than that toad. So really, I don't know. I probably won't agree to getting my life down to that level in order to enjoy the rest of my day.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was interesting. That's why I wrote it. That's why I had it as one of my things, because I'm not sure whether we should be looking at every situation and going, what's the worst that could actually happen here? Why not enjoy it for what it is? Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
No, I wasn't back till the 27th. So.
Well, then you go 27, man.
We go 27, man. Tuning out the negative, it just talks about not partaking in any activity around you. We have a choice whether we watch the news, whether we listen to someone who's talking rubbish to us. TL's got very good at the moment at hanging up on people and pretending it was a phone cutting out when someone's talking negative crap, right? And, it was definitely the phone cutting out, wasn't it, mate? But it's actually, I got to a phase after reading the 4 Agreements a long time ago where anyone who'd talk any negative crap to me, I'd just walk away from them. And that was very powerful at the time, put me in a real good headspace. And you forget, and I'm getting much better at it now, when there's people you talk to on a daily basis who all they do is whinge and complain about everything that's going on in the world. It really doesn't add anything to your life, but you've got a choice over whether you actually talk to that person or not. The phone can go dead at any minute. And you'd be surprised. Try it for a week, and anytime anyone says anything negative to you, you walk away from them or just end the conversation. How much better you feel. Just, yeah. So I like 27.
It goes hand in hand with 28. It's not on them, it's on you. If someone's slipping up, kindly correct them and point out what they missed. But if you can't, blame yourself or no one. I think it works in well with that, and that's that I've pointed out. It comes back to what we were saying before. Just because you sometimes can point it out to someone, sometimes maybe you shouldn't, and just look inward, or maybe it's just not a problem that you need to worry about.
That's nice.
I liked 27 as well, Cam. It reminded me of something that Amanda Gore said, and something that I've been doing for a while, but not watching the news, not listening to the news, not letting all that stuff fill your head. Just tune out to it. You're going to hear what you need to hear anyway.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it, you don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with social media. Same reason I took Facebook off my phone. There's not a lot of good, but you've got to be stricter with it too. I think you can be like that with people. It becomes really powerful. Yeah, not listening to the news, and that's easy stuff, but do it with someone who constantly having negative conversations with you. And by tuning out, or by stopping the conversation dead, or just saying, look, I don't want to hear it, walking away, you might actually help them realise what they're doing.
Listen, I have to say that I was like that, but since I've known you, I have practiced the art of acceptance.
Mate, you're full of shit because the phone cuts out.
The art of compassion.
But you're proving my point, because now I get halfway through a sentence and realise what I'm doing, and then I've got a choice. Do I really want to fuck with TL, or do I let him off the hook this time? And more often than not, I keep going. But I think once last week you asked me if I was just ringing to fuck with you, and I was like, yeah, I am.
And what happened after that?
You hung up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you had the choice. Yeah. You just ringing to dump your shit on me? Yeah, I'm probably ringing to do that. At least I was honest about it. But...
Well, I loved the 26 because in November 26, really, for me, there was a line in there that really resonates with me. Most of us run after competition, even the very simple competition. And I think that in life, really, the only person you need to compete with is against yourself. When you start to measure your own performance, your own life versus others, that line on that second page, measuring ourselves against others, makes acceptance difficult. It's hard to then accept yourself. And I think that's
imagine being 5'7" and trying to measure yourself against someone who's 6'2" to you.
That's right. And then suddenly be how do you feel knowing you're so big and so stupid?
You went into business with him, mate. I'm sorry, but
I try to compare, but it hurts my neck looking down so I can't. So there's no comparison here.
Oh dear me.
See, I don't compare. I don't even have to look up. No. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, not on this.
All right.
No.
Well,
that was it for me for that month.
Yeah.
Meg, you got anything else?
No.
All right then. Well, then that is it for November.